In sickness and in health, little did one local couple know what those words would truly mean until the bride was diagnosed with a fatal disease only 6 months after the wedding. I took a look at how Lou Gehrig's disease has impacted their lives, but gave them something to fight for.
There's something about her that she draws people to, and she was funny. I thought she was beautiful.
In 2010, Meadow Glen's physical education teacher, Chris Benyo, met a woman from New Jersey on eHarmony named Denise DiMarzo, who he would marry a year later. Not even 6 months after their wedding, doctors told Denise she had ALS, more commonly known as Lou Gehrig's disease.
We couldn't believe it. I bawled my eyes out. She was a lot tougher than me. Because you weren't expecting that. You know, when a doctor says, I'm sorry you have ALS, there's no known treatment plan, and life expectancy is 2 to 5 years, it kind of hits you pretty hard.
About 5,600 people are diagnosed with ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, each year with no apparent cause or treatment. The disease causes motor neurons to lose functioning and eventually die, meaning that people who suffer from ALS lose use of just about all their muscles. They can no longer walk, talk, and even swallow food, but the disease does not impair the mind, so Denise is aware of everything that's happening to her body. Eventually, the disease becomes fatal when the respiratory system no longer works.
It progressed pretty quickly. You know, her ALS attacked her legs and her arms, which is, when you're athletic, that's a tough one. But when you look at the positive part of it, it's better that than the lungs and the breathing and stuff.
Like most others with ALS, Denise also lost her ability to speak, but can communicate through an electronic device called a Dynavox.
Hello, nice to see you.
She has a dot on the middle of her head and she has a computer screen basically in front of her, and she just, using her eyes, she can, you know, answer questions. She can do everything through her Dynavox. She can pay bills and do email.
With the device, she's able to share with me how much her husband takes care of her.
He lifts me up both physically and mentally. He gets me out of bed each morning and tucks me in each night and everything in between.
I want to do everything for her, and she wants to do stuff herself, and I got to kind of back off a little bit, because she gets very frustrated when I do something for her that she's capable of doing. Because we don't know down the line, that thing that she's able to do today, she may not be able to do in a couple weeks, because that's how this disease is.
Denise is even able to blog about living with ALS. On her page she calls Adventures in Losing Stability, she shares what she misses most, like driving, singing, and even wrapping her arms around her daughter, the little things so many of us may take for granted. But she and her husband make the most with what she can do. Shortly after the diagnosis, they began running marathons together to raise money for ALS research.
We had talked when we were, you know, dating and getting to know each other and doing running and cycling and things like that we did together. We talked about, I said she should run a marathon, and she liked the idea. And I said, if you can put in the training to do a marathon, you can choose any marathon anywhere, and we'll go do a marathon. And, you know, as it turned out, it didn't work out the way we wanted it to.
Still, Chris kept that promise, pushing Denise in an adult-sized jogging stroller the entire 26.2 miles of 2 New Jersey marathons and last year's Naperville Marathon. And now he's training to run and push Denise at the Boston Marathon on April 21st and for their 3rd New Jersey race on April 27th. So far, they've raised a total of nearly $100,000 along the way for the Les Turner ALS Foundation, which in turn has given them support.
Our home care team comes and visits Chris and Denise in their home. We have a social worker that works with them. They attend our support group, so we do a lot for them in terms of helping them with the disease, the progression, just constantly doing continuing education in terms of what to expect next, helping them with their equipment.
Shortly after two of Chris's former students found out about his wife's diagnosis, they wanted to raise money and got to work organizing a charity dodgeball tournament.
Me and Taylor, we just left Meadow Glen's the year after. In 7th grade, our teacher had us do like community service projects, and this is after we just recently found out his wife got diagnosed with the disease. So then we knew that a lot of people have been doing dodgeball tournaments lately for charity, so we thought that maybe if we did one, we could help him out too.
I asked them, I remember asking them, I go, why do you want to do a dodgeball tournament? And they say they want to do something for someone who matters to them. That got me. And so ever since they've been doing it, and it's incredible.
The Dodging for Lou Gehrig's Disease Dodgeball Tournament has continued to raise tens of thousands of dollars over the past 3 years for ALS research.
It's overwhelming. There are so many people I can connect with because of these events, and they keep me going.
Though Lou Gehrig's disease may not be what either of them have bargained for when they chose to marry, Chris and Denise make the most of every day and battle the disease together.
We didn't go into this marriage without talking about commitment. We knew that 50% of marriages fail, and neither one of us wanted that. So when we decided to marry, we adopted the mantra, all in. We had no idea what that would really mean until about 6 months after the wedding. We knew that there would be challenges, but this is much more than either of us expected. So, for us, it's much like a marathon. Even when it gets painful, you keep on going because we're all in.
People ask me how I'm doing taking care of Denise, and yeah, physically I'm taking care of her, but she's taking care of me. I mean, she's to wake up each day and be able to take on each day and look at it as, oh, here's another day for me to do something good for somebody. That's how she thinks. And to me, that's an inspiration. And I've told her many times, I've said, if it was me, I can't even imagine. I think I've learned from her is, and I tell this to my kids, being that I teach, the kids that I teach every day at school. First of all, you got to value every day that you have, especially if you're with someone you love. And I also tell the kids, I go, as long as you have your health, you have everything.
While ALS has taken away most of Denise's abilities, it hasn't taken away her sense of humor or her ability to face each day with a tenacious spirit.
I have a choice to make each day. When I wake up, I can either sit here and let ALS take my life, or I can choose to fight. I wish I could say every day I win that battle, but I'm ahead of the curve. I pray a lot, and I figure if I'm still here, I have something left to do, or another lesson left to learn.